Godzilla vs. Kong is a 2021 American monster film directed by Adam Wingard. It is a sequel to both King of Monsters and Skull Island. It is a fourth monster film in the legendary MonsterVerse. Now, coming to this film, I honestly did not know what to expect, especially after the other films that I've watched previously, like King of the Monsters and the regular Godzilla and Kong Skull Island. Now, watching Godzilla, the first one, and watching the second one coming into this film, I was actually on guard. I was actually getting ready to gut this film like a fish, not only because of how those movies progress till now, except Skull Island. Skull Island was spectacular. It was very good, top notch, very very well done when it comes to the cinematography, the character development, the pacing, the reveal of Kong. Brilliant, fantastic. But we didn't really get that much same aspect on the two Godzilla films, which was why I was on guard watching this one. I thought we was gonna get the exact same thing, if not even worse. Because let's be honest here, the first Godzilla, they was more focused on the humans in the military, and then when they did the Godzilla reveal, it was satisfying, but it was like they barely showed much of him on the first one. In fact, it was so bad to the point where when I remember watching it in the theater, there was a couple of kids behind me behind the seat, and they kept patting their father, and they kept asking him, "Where's Godzilla? Where's Godzilla?" And even though they was talking in the film, the most like almost all of us didn't mind the kid saying that because we was wondering the same thing, like, where the fuck is he? So the father just said, "You know what? He's coming." Like, what, an hour later? The second one, no, it wasn't like that. But the pacing when it comes to the character development fell flat in the direction that the second one took. So they was both bad in certain aspects, kind of similar to each other. Unlike Skull Island, like I mentioned, everything was like they did Kong Skull Island good. The first two Godzilla movies could have learned from this one. That was one reason why I came here approaching it with a grain of salt. Not only that, but the director, Adam Wingard. Now, if people don't know Adam Wingard and y'all don't know why I have a deep, compelling grudge against Adam Wingard, is because he made shit over the years. He has. I'm really going way back. He was, from what I heard, he was a part of Death Note, the movie. You remember that movie? He also played a part on VHS 2. One of the best horror films I've seen in a long time, and they made a second one, and he played a part on that one as well as him being an actor. He probably took a direction in the film too. I need to look that up, but it ended up falling flat. And then he ended up doing the ABCs of Death. And now, if anybody's seen my Rock Island channel, my old channel, I still have that movie review of the ABCs of Death on there. You should check it out. It's pretty crazy. So when I found out that he was directing this third one, this fourth film, and knowing his reputation of how he fucks up everything that he touches, I was like, you know what? It has to be worse. I can't imagine it being better. What I got to say to you, Adam Wingard, after watching this film, come on, guys, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Come on, don't be nervous, don't be shy. You did good. You did damn good, actually. I'm actually surprised of how well you did and how well you pulled this film off. Whoo! I'm actually more satisfied than most people watching this film. Maybe because I came in with so much low expectations and just ready to get in a rage mode with this film. I've had all my editing processing done trying to do this review. and just adding more things and details to this review, just so I can show people how much I hated Adam Wingard and how much I knew he was going to fuck up this film. But you know what? I have to put all those aside because apparently this film was actually better than I expected. So this is going to be a short review if I get down to the point quickly as I can, and I can, just get down to the nitty gritty. Well, first, let me start off with the character development. The character development, it is not as great. In fact, it's actually pretty dumb. Now, I've noticed the plots of this film, even with the second one and the first one, it all, like, the direction of the film when it comes to their development, it does sound great on paper. It really does, especially with this one. And knowing, like going it from a writing aspect of the film, it's brilliant. In fact, I did not mind what it was going for with this, especially with Kong, because as you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm a Godzilla fan. I'm a huge Godzilla fanatic, a diehard Godzilla fan. But I wanted to know more about Kong. Even though they explain a lot about Kong's lore on Kong Skull Island, I was not satisfied enough with Kong's character. So I want to know about his family that they keep mentioning, his tribe, his main purpose. Why is he protecting his home so much? And most of that is explained on this one. Because if we're going to have these characters duke it out to the bitter end, I need to have some compelling feelings for them as they fight each other. And they've done this well with Kong, especially with this bond with Gia, the orphan girl that I mentioned in the headline. It's pretty good the way how they express Kong, but at the same time, we need to have a good guy and a bad guy in this film. They make Kong this good icon character on this one, and in the sidelines, they make my character the bad guy, but just momentarily. And it just, I kind of hate it when they do stuff like this, but it actually makes sense. It actually makes sense how they do it when it comes to how they develop Godzilla and what makes us believe why he is a bad guy. Why is the military trying to kill him? Why is he destroying everything just so rationally? All that is explained. Now, what I have a problem with it is how they execute it. The same reasons why I had a problem with the first one and the second Godzilla films. Like I said before, all this stuff that's written down sounds great. The problem is how you execute it. They seem to show these characters off, show the dialogue off, show the development off, and try to make us be attached to these characters like Millie Bobby Brown. I'm actually surprised she's back on this film. I wanted to see more of the Kong Skull Island cast, more than seeing Millie Bobby Brown. Maybe it's because of the direction that they make her take on the second Godzilla film. I'm sorry, Kong Skull Island had better characters because they was executed better. But they showed her on the film. They showed like another character, and they basically supposed to try to help Godzilla out when it comes to him. Because Godzilla's a bad guy. They trying to prove that he's not a bad guy. They know that there's something not right, and I kind of feel like I don't have a problem with them trying to show these methods, but we kind of didn't really we didn't come here for the development for the characters. I feel like you made 3 films. This is your 3rd one. So I feel like if you're gonna make a first one, the dialogue is very important. The character development is very important. After that, I understand that you give us new characters along the way through the sequels, but you need to be very linear with those characters, with the development. And if you're gonna stretch them out, that's great. That's fine. But have the characters be worth the damn. I didn't really care about the characters at all. Why is that? Because we came here to see, you know who that is. I'll let Frieza say it for you.
You're nothing but an overgrown monkey! A Saiyan can't beat me! A monkey can't beat me! You can't! You can't!
Yeah. Exactly. And who do we came to see? Basically. I'm sorry if that was disturbing. But you see my point. We came here to see my nigga Godzilla. So if you're gonna show characters of the film, make sure that you progress them correctly, so we can have more screen time with with the monsters that we wanted to see in the big screen TV. Like I said, it seems as if they have a hard time giving us the characters and showing us the monsters. They show us the characters in the wrong times. When we get engaged in the action, especially in this movie, the action was phenomenal, boosting with so much thrilling action, so much destruction, so like it was so great. The CGI was fantastic. Another applause to you, Adam Wingard. Like when I'm telling you, when the film shows you Godzilla versus Kong, it shows you their battle. It shows you their fights. And the fight is brutal. The fight is intense. The fight is badass. And that's the reason why that's the reason why I'm pissed off a little bit, because when we see these when we see these two titans duking out and fight each other and just bashing each other's face in, Godzilla showing, throwing his atomic breath at him. Godzilla is very destructive on this movie. Like, Godzilla is Godzilla. He does not walk on a freaking street tiptoeing. No, Godzilla is very freaking destructive. And Kong, they show them both at their basically in their full potential. But when they show these fight scenes and when we get engaged and we're just in the edge of our seat, they show the characters, like they show like the humans, and we get snapped out of it, and then we have to not calm down our embraciveness, but it's annoying. I feel like if you're gonna do that, have that happen before you introduce us to these fight scenes, so we're not interrupted. I have to keep scaling this to Kong Skull Island, because Kong Skull Island did it perfectly. They showed us the characters who was gonna go to Skull Island and try to investigate to see what this island was all about. They showed great character detail. They showed good detail with Samuel Jackson's character. And after we was engaged in the character development and the dialogue, now it was up to us to see Kong. After they showed the development with all the characters, it was now Kong's turn to shine. After that, the whole movie was all focused on Kong and the monsters in the film. They showed some characters, but they was only there just so they can have a brief synopsis of how to deal with this monkey, how to deal with this ape. And it didn't take too long. Why is it when they do that with Godzilla, it's sudden, and then when it happens, it takes a long time for us to show Godzilla again? We did not come here just so these monsters can have less screen time and the characters could have good, could have more acting. We did not. That's the reason why the movie is getting mixed reviews. I was gonna gut Rotten Tomatoes again because of the high rating, but it's basically because of the action. But that's why I'm pissed, because it could have been so much more if they had less of the acting, more of the action. Less of what you are trying to push, more of what we want. And I wanted more of that. The cinematography is great too. There was not one thing about the film that stood out when it comes to the CGI, when it comes to like everything being polished out, when it comes to the great detail. I'm definitely buying this on 4K when it comes out. Watching this in the theater, and I haven't been to the theater since before COVID, and it's freaking ridiculous. But it was worth it. Just the surround sound and just the visuals. It was so goddamn good, But at the same time, it's like with you, Adam Wingard. It's like maybe they ask to have more screen time. I don't know, and I don't mind that. But like I said, if you're gonna do that, have all that, like, do all that in the beginning. So when we're like in the middle half of the film, or probably even before that, it's more focused on the brawl, more focused on the development of Godzilla and Kong itself. Because I feel like if you try to put that in a mixture gesture, try to have Kong and Godzilla fight and then put more like character development in the middle of it, it pisses us off. Even though some of us was satisfied with that, it could have been done better. It could have been done better, honestly, in my opinion. I'm gonna have to give Godzilla versus Kong a B minus. I was very, I was thinking very hard of giving it a lower rating. Like I was thinking about giving it a C minus, maybe a D. But the reason why I didn't is because out of all the shit that I've been through with Adam Wingard and like the movies that he made, the stuff that he produced, the acting that he played a part in these fucked up films that I thought was gonna be good, especially the ABCs of Death. I don't just think this film is an exception, and for me to congratulate him, I think that this is him apologizing and him progressing, and I see it to this film. Adam Wingard, I am, even though this is tough love, because we all be bad before we get better. I mean, look at my ABCs of Death review. Like, if you look at that review and look at this review, it's a mass difference. So I don't blame. Um, I was like, how old was I? I was like 21, 19 years old. I'm 30 years old now. So by you doing this film and doing it like the way it is, it's actually better than every Godzilla film. Is it better than Kong Skull Island? The action, yes, but not the pacing. The cinematography, yes, but not the dialogue, not the character development. Because, like I said, everything else besides the action and besides what I mentioned, Kong Skull Island beats you in spades. I mean, this is going to be a bad example, but I want you to bear with me. Take the Godzilla film that people don't want to bring up through the light of day that was made in 1998, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that one. People hate this film because of the way how they originated Godzilla in Hollywood. I was 8 years old when I seen it. I wasn't that big into Godzilla until I was like in my teens. So I could understand that gesture. I can understand that hate. I honestly can. Because that Godzilla looks, well, Godzilla doesn't really look good. Godzilla looks like a lizard. But this one, like, the design is poorly polished. But what they've done right was the focus of Godzilla and the focus of the characters. We cared about the characters. And not only that, but when they revealed Godzilla, the only main focus was Godzilla. In fact, they even went as far as to add in Godzilla's kids in the movie. That scene when I think it was like in a ball or something, and those babies came out. Like, I was like, what in the world? What is going on? I didn't know Godzilla could have children. So I like the creation that it took, and out of everything, it wasn't boring. The film wasn't boring. You don't have to like the film. I mean, I'm not saying the film was better. I'm not saying in all aspects. I'm not saying it's better. What I'm saying is that film did a better job when it comes to their delivery and their reveal and keeping us on the edge of our seats than the two Godzilla. Well, this one too, if you want to stretch that out. We got the action that we wanted on this one. I'm sorry for dragging this out, but I just need to make this point. We had the action that we wanted, but some of us, including myself, was not completely satisfied because it took a while to get there. And while we was there, we were still getting pulled out of that embracement because you kept showing the humans. Give the humans their little time to do whatever they need to do, and then have Godzilla and Kong have their own time so they cannot have no interruptions at all. Like, take Predator, for example, the very first one, Arnold Schwarzenegger. They focus a good while on the soldiers. But then when they was realizing that the bodies was getting to pile up, who was doing this, who was killing the people one by one, our engagement of Predator was beginning to build up. So when they finally revealed this thing, like, that was the main genre of the film. After they showed him, that was the only thing they showed. Him, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and other people trying to kill it. They showed soldiers, but them getting murdered. That's even the first Godzilla film did that. They did the suspense well, but after Godzilla was exposed, they still showed more characters. They still showed more focus on the characters, and that's like that needs to be fixed. All I'm saying is Hollywood, and all I'm saying is Adam Wingard, you did great, but do better, and then you'll get a better rating. Well, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for more of my reviews and my upcoming videos coming your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and you guys have a good day.